MDS is a remarkable story of entrepreneurship, energy, and growth. It's the story of a company that jumped from a small service contract, providing engineering support services with a handful of employees, to designing, building, and operating massive gas turbine engine test facilities. It progressed through dynamic partnerships with the world's largest aerospace engine manufacturers to become what it is today. More than 150 people, creating the world's most sophisticated turbine engine test facilities and services for a wide range of applications in more than 15 countries around the globe. In this brief history of MDS, you're going to see and hear about what MDS does, how it got started, how we developed our key customer base, and our amazing geographic reach around the world. And what does all this say about our future as a company? Let's see. So what does MDS do? What's our market? And why do companies around the world buy our products? MDS builds large test facilities, test beds or test cells, to evaluate the performance of gas turbine engines. The engines are used to propel airplanes and ships, and for stationary industrial uses as well. We do this work as part of the engine design and development process for manufacturers such as Rolls-Royce and Pratt & Whitney, and also for the maintenance, repair, and overhaul business for customers like Air France. This testing is done to increase engine reliability and efficiency so that airplanes operate safely and perform optimally. So ships use less fuel to cross the oceans and can sail better in rough seas, and to reduce emissions for cleaner operations, including power generation and industrial pumping systems. Test cells can be built inside a building, or engines can be tested on an outdoor stand. In these test facilities, our customers put up to 5,000 instruments on a single engine. MDS data systems are able to collect more than 1 million data points per second. Our engineers then translate these electronic observations into useful information on engine health and reliability, such as pressure, temperature, rotational speed, and vibration. This is why MDS emphasizes precision, quality, and know-how, and is so proud of its well-earned reputation as a world leader in designing, building, and operating engine test facilities. How did MDS get started? MDS was formed in January 1985 by Hans Odorfer. At the time, Hans ran a Montreal construction company named Opron, and he took on a UK-based technical partner to get into this new business. Without Hans, there would be no MDS, no corporate history, and far fewer stories of one of the world's unique characters. It all began with him, his vision, and his determination. MDS started up with a handful of engineers. The company moved to its present location on Old Innis Road in Ottawa in 1990. Two people who remain employees after more than 25 years are Roger Cross and Kevin Fitzgerald. Kevin is now the president and CEO, exemplifying one of the secrets of MDS success: stick-to-itiveness. MDS's first project was for Canada's Department of National Defence, DND, in 1985. It was to provide engineering and technical services to support DND's aircraft gas turbine engine test program. This was also a first for DND. It wanted to establish Canadian capacity in engine testing, so it would not always have to go offshore. Far-sighted officers in DND encouraged MDS to develop these capabilities, and over the next 5 years, the company designed and built engine test facilities at 4 military bases, at Chatham, Shearwater, Cold Lake, and Moose Jaw, and upgraded facilities at CFB Greenwood and several other bases. And these projects literally put MDS on the map. After 5 years of working with the Canadian military, the company made a huge jump into the international commercial market with the design and construction of a complete engine test facility for Royal Air Maroc, the national airline of Morocco. Overnight, on March 31, 1990, this fledgling company transformed its order book from $100,000 to $40 million. The project had taken 3 years to put together, and it would take another 3 years to complete. As well as servicing Royal Air Morocco's own engines, the test facility became a major source of additional revenue and jobs for the airline as they began to do work for other customers in the region. This is still one of the largest test bed complexes that MDS has built to date. It remains a showcase for our new customers more than 20 years later. Royal Air Morocco recognized the strategic value of having its own engine test facility, and it put its trust in a small company to deliver on a very big project. So how was MDS able to accomplish this business feat? It took an international team of extraordinary individuals and companies, which Hans and MDS put together. First, a key customer executive, Mr. Hamayad Al-Mili, insisted on awarding the project to MDS in the face of internal opposition and strong efforts by a foreign competitor to kill the job. Second, we borrowed and bought the technology. General Electric generously put their own expertise behind MDS, and the Central Institute of Aviation Motors, CIAM, in Moscow, provided key aerodynamic and acoustic modeling services for the project. CIAM was a 40,000-person institute and had just become open to Western business after the fall of the Berlin Wall and perestroika opened the Russian economy. Our chief aerodynamicist, Dr. Yakov Kabakov, subsequently joined us from CIAM and continues with MDS today. Third, MDS brought 3 Canadian government agencies on board. They saw the value and potential in MDS and have continued to support the company's growth ever since. The Trade Commissioner Service of Foreign Affairs Canada reinforced MDS's message with new international customers and governments. Export Development Canada, EDC, began a long association with MDS as a financier and insurer of our international business, and the Canadian Commercial Corporation, CCC, a sister Crown corporation to EDC, provided additional credibility in the marketplace for 18 of our early contracts in the form of a government guarantee that MDS would perform all its contractual obligations. And later on, technical partnerships with NRC, Canada's National Research Council, added to MDS's capability and international credibility. MDS's successful entry into the commercial market led quickly to long-standing relationships with 2 world-class engine manufacturers, Rolls-Royce and Pratt & Whitney. Rolls-Royce is one of the UK's greatest companies. It's a world leader in designing and manufacturing aerospace, marine, and industrial engines. Rolls-Royce placed great confidence in MDS from its earliest days, and this enabled MDS to expand its reach enormously. First, there was the successful design and supply of an engine compressor measurement and control system in Munich in 1992. This was followed by the outsourcing to MDS of all of Rolls-Royce critical data acquisition systems for large civil engines in the UK, the RAMS project, in 1997. In 1995 and 2000, MDS built 2 engine test facilities for Rolls-Royce in Montreal at their Centre for Development and Support of Trent Industrial Engines. An interesting feature of test cell number 7 there is an electrical grid tie-in that provides backup power to the City of Montreal during emergencies. MDS devised an innovative solution to simulate a ship's propeller drive in ocean conditions for Bristol Marine, a division of Rolls-Royce, in 2001. The next year, MDS co-invested with Rolls-Royce in the highly advanced Anacom Aerotest compressor facility in Germany, which MDS designed and built. This plant provides engine design and test services for other companies in the open market, as well as for Rolls-Royce itself. So now we see MDS's role evolving from being an engineering supplier to designing, building, operating, and investing in its projects. Through Rolls-Royce, MDS joined the U.S. Joint Strike Fighter program in Indianapolis in 2002. In 2006, MDS relocated Rolls-Royce's outdoor noise and performance testing